Hello and welcome to another episode of the Diski Preview Show. My name is Mo and you're watching this on Betfred's YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our other platforms. We're available on Twitter, on Facebook, and we're also available on LinkedIn. The link to those are in the description below and also on our page. So let me start you off with some of the specials to look forward to today. Let's see what we have on the Betfred bonus page. And as you can see, this is what we've got going on. We've got you with the birthday bonus. It says our gift to you of 100 Rand. We also have the top deposit match of up to 5,000 Rand. We also have the invite a friend bonus, while we also have down there Monday Madness. That is a lotto special that is unique to Betfred for the Monday draw of the SA Daily Lotto, where it changes the odds from 550 to 1 to 575 to 1. Make sure to check that one out. We also have a first bet bonus. Those are the bonuses available at betfred.co.za. For more on that, I'll leave a link in the description below and you can click on it and this will direct you directly to the page I was getting this information from. Without wasting a second of your time, let's get right into the show. It's a Diski Preview Show, and as you can see, I've got Mr. E, and we're about to talk football. Right, we're about to start our show and let's talk about Manchester City versus Leicester City. As you can see, at the time of shooting, we had 1 day, 5 hours, 47 minutes and 49 seconds before the game started. These are some of the odds that were there before the game starts. And I just want to talk about the big one, the three-way, Mr. E. Usually when people look at the three-way, they look to see who might be the favorite to go through. Yeah. But you look at this three-way and looking at the odds that Leicester currently have at this moment in time, doesn't look favorable for them.
Definitely doesn't look favorable because Manchester City has been trailblazing. I mean, like from day one, and they're coming across a ruthless Haaland who's been scoring freely of late. So it doesn't seem like the Leicester City is going to be winning this one here. But you know, the unfortunate thing with Leicester City is that I don't know what's been happening since they took. I think they won the championship in 2016. Yeah. From then they've been on a downward trend, and it's not happening. And I think their main Vardy hasn't been firing on all cylinders. So I think the problem was that maybe they relied on him a lot, so much that by now things are not firing on his side, and the club is going down.
The club is definitely going down, Mr. E, and I've been covering this quite a lot because, as you know, in our line of work, you need to stay up to date with what's going on. But Leicester City, they are a surprising case because they won the league when Tottenham Hotspurs, I believe, were supposed to win the league. They were lucky enough to finish in front of them. But Brendan Rodgers, they kept him on the whole season. They kept him on for most of the season, I should add. And he was not producing the results. Do you think that the club held on to him for way too long? Should they have let go of him earlier on in the season? Because earlier on in the season, you could already tell that this guy was not getting the results.
Yeah, they must have tried to get somebody else to, or rather to try and bring in another coach there to help and steer the ship to championship. Because I believe Leicester City is a championship club, and where it is right now, it's so sad because they're a pale shadow of what they used to be in the year 2016, and all that points to maybe the bosses at Leicester City not wanting to make any changes, because they should have seen this happening, or rather coming from the early days, and made the necessary changes to steer the club away from where it is right now. And right now they are flirting with relegation. I mean, if we are to lose Leicester from the PSL, the Premier League, that would be disastrous. I mean, yeah.
All right, we're looking at Manchester City and Leicester City's stats right now. And as you can see, Manchester City are sitting on 100% form. They're sitting at 83% win probability, with Leicester City sitting on 6% win probability and 11% for the draw. Now, this is because Leicester in their last 7 games have 1 draw, and guess what? They have 6 losses in their last 7 games. So it does bring me back to the fact that the question I asked you, Mr. E, that they left it too late to fire this man. I mean, he was giving away points, he was dropping points left, right, and center. And if you look at how they performed throughout the season, from match day 2, the graph just goes down. And they've been occupying the bottom spot for about week 4 all the way to week 8. They were able to bounce back around week 10, but they look like they're going back down again.
Yes, hence they've appointed Dean Smith to try and pull the club out of relegation, because you know, a club of the size of Leicester, having only 25 points at this time of the league, I mean, it shows that something is not there's something wrong at the club. Yes, so they haven't been doing as well as we would have anticipated them to do so. You know, yeah. So I mean, the unfortunate thing is we spoke about the odds. They are coming against Manchester City. That's demolished. Bayern Munich was a 3-0.
3-0, yes.
Yes, and then Haaland is now on song. But yet again, the story that we're talking about, Leicester City, could be happening also in Manchester City, because if you look at Haaland, he's played 27 matches. He's scored 30 goals. The next person has scored only 9 goals. So the bulk of all those goals are coming from Haaland. Hence, Manchester City will struggle without Haaland. So if the same thing happened with Leicester City when Vardy was still on song. So I think the coach must try and get somebody else to be a filler striker, just in case Erling Haaland is injured or something happens to him rather.
All right, Mr. E, let's end this with your prediction. Who do you think is going to take the result in this game? Are you going with Manchester City or are you going with Leicester City?
I'm going with the ruthless Manchester City.
Yep, and that's where we leave it for today. Manchester City right now on a winning run that goes all the way back to when they faced Leipzig and drew 1-1 in the UEFA Champions League. The last time they tasted defeat, you'll have to go way, way, way back to when they faced Tottenham Hotspurs. It was early on this year on the 5th of February 2023. Since then, what a run of wins they've been able to put together. They've beaten the likes of they've beaten the likes of Arsenal. They've beaten Bournemouth 4-1. They've beat Bristol City 3-0. They've beat Newcastle 2-0. They've beat the likes of Crystal Palace, Leipzig back-to-back, Burnley, Liverpool, Southampton, Bayern Munich recently 3-0, and they continue their journey. Stay tuned as we continue to break down more football fixtures for you, and make sure to visit our betfred.co.za for more specials and more information on how you can join and also get a couple of price boosts in your favor. Right, we move our journey along as we are about to talk about another big game that's taking place in France. Paris Saint-Germain are going to be in action against RC Lens. There's a game that's taking place in the French Ligue 1. For those of you that are not fans of this league, as you can see, PSG and Lens currently looking like the odds are sitting in the favor of PSG.
Yes, they are sitting on the favor of PSG, but remember, Lens is number 2 on the league right now, and the last time they played together, I think they handed PSG their defeat. So this, although the odds are in favor of PSG, this is an evenly balanced game. It can go either way. I'm looking at PSG that wants to break the local record and get the 11th title. Yes, and at the same time, we're looking at Lens that wants to win the championship as well. So there's a difference of about 6 points. Now, if Lens goes on to win this game, there will be a difference of 3 points, which is not that bad. They can
put them in reach.
Yes, they can put them. It can put Lens within reach. Yeah, but PSG, might take this one. But you know what? PSG has been struggling at home. Especially with the absence of Neymar, who's out until the end of the season. Now, all the 3 points are left. All the 3 points we need to get them from. Mbappe and Messi have to make sure that PSG gets the 3 points when they meet tomorrow.
Right, this game will be taking place at 9 p.m. You can visit our stores for some of the specials, or you can visit betfred.co.za for more of the specials we have exclusively for our online customers. Look at recent form. Form is looking like it's on Lens's side. They're sitting at 71% with 2 draws, 1 loss in their last 7 and 4 wins in a row. While on the other side, PSG currently have 3 losses in their last 7 games, including that last win that they picked up recently. Now, obviously, we got to talk about how they come into this game. For PSG, they've played Nice, and they were able to win that game by 2-0. But that loss came at the hands of Lyon, who were able to beat PSG 1-0, and Rennes was also able to put the hurt on PSG 2-0. Now, this is a high-quality side. If you look at Lens, they've been able to beat Strasbourg, Rennes, Angers and Clermont back-to-back. They struggled against Lille, which was one of the biggest clubs also coming out of French football. Now, when you talk about keeping pace with a big team, you're talking about Lens here. You're looking at their league position graph. As you can see, they did occupy first position from match day 1 all the way to match day 30. That's Paris Saint-Germain. And when you look at the competition for today's game, it's going to be Lens. They have been able to occupy a top 2 spot for most of the season. They spend the majority of the season at those top 2 spots. Now, you can't mention PSG without talking about their key players, Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, and Neymar. Mr. E, what do you think of their performance this season? The question I'm basically trying to ask you is, have they gelled? I mean, the season started off with a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
The season started with Kylian Mbappe injured, Messi and Neymar getting those early goals, getting early hat-tricks, match day 2, match day 1.
Yeah.
And then Mbappe comes back into the side, and there's all these rumors that Di Maria has left because of Mbappe. But right now, everybody's future is in question. Neymar might be leaving, Mbappe might be leaving, Messi might be leaving. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you see, I think those top 3 strikers have failed to gel together, all 3. Although we saw glimpses of brilliance from Messi when playing alongside Neymar. That was the time when Mbappe was injured. But Messi and Mbappe right now, as Neymar is injured, they're failing to live up to expectations. I mean, hence they've been losing. They lost quite a few games together, and most people, the fans in France, for PSG, it looks like they're blaming Messi for all their losses, and I would understand myself, because remember in the World Cup final, the French would like to believe that the reason they don't have that that title is simply because Messi went on to get the second star for Argentina, way ahead of Mbappe. So and Messi is playing in the French league, whereby which is the country that they knocked out in the final. So it's not a very good space for Messi to be in right now. Hence the need for him to move on to another club elsewhere.
All right, Mr. E, let's get your prediction for this game for the viewers at home as well.
Yeah, I'm going to make one prediction. It's not going to be wild, but I think this is going to be a draw, high-scoring draw, 2-2.
2-2?
Yes.
So that's the prediction Mr. E has given us, 2-2 between PSG and Lens. Let's move on and see what's happening elsewhere in the world of football. And don't forget to visit betfred.co.za to open an account if you don't have one, and also to place your bets on these games we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue our journey with this conversation about world football. We carry on our conversation by going to Germany to go check out a game that's taking place in the Bundesliga, round number 28, which means we're edging ever closer to the end of the season. Borussia Dortmund will be away to Stuttgart. And first and foremost, obviously, when you have to talk about this team, you have to talk about one thing and one thing only, their league position. For the longest time, in fact, for about 3 or 4 seasons, we have not seen Dortmund playing this high in the Bundesliga. We've had the likes of Leipzig, we've had the likes of Bayer Leverkusen recently, and it hasn't been gelling for Dortmund. People have been saying that Leipzig is the new Dortmund, but it looks like Dortmund is fighting back. Mr. E, your thoughts on their season so far?
Yeah, I think they've done very well. In actual fact, they've downed themselves this season. I mean, like they are right now on position number 2. Just a few. I think how many points? I think it's about 2 points away from the log leaders, Bayern Munich. And what makes it interesting, this fixture interesting, is that if Bayern Munich loses and Dortmund wins, it goes on to the top of the table. It looks like Dortmund is putting on the pressure on Bayern Munich, and it's not going to be an easy season for them to just pick up the championship. And they seek to end the domination of Bayern Munich, and I think for the past 10 years it's always been
10
Bayern
years
Munich.
plus.
Yeah, so this time around I think it will be a good thing to see Bayern Munich coming into the picture and creeping up right up to the first spot.
I mean, if you look at Bayern Munich and how many times they've won the league in recent memory, you have to look back all the way to 2012, 2013 to their first title of 11 consecutive titles. And like I was saying, look at the likes of Dortmund, Leipzig, Dortmund, Schalke. Dortmund have been the biggest, would say always the bridesmaid, never the bride, in terms of the last 10 plus years of this dominance coming from Bayern Munich. They first won it in 2012, 2013. It's now going to 2022, 2023. And if they win it again, that means they've now made it, and they've just hula hooped it. They've done a whole lap. But before that, I mean, people talk about the Bundesliga being a one-team league, and if you look at history, you'll see that Dortmund won 2 back-to-back titles back in 2010 and 2011, and then you see that Bayern Munich won it, then Wolfsburg won it, then Stuttgart won it. So there's a lot of pedigree in the league. It's just that Bayern Munich have been able to run away with it for the last 10 years. And this game is a reflection of that, because Stuttgart also one of the teams that actually won the league way back in 06-07. They still have the pedigree, they still have the players. Can they go in and shock everyone and win this game against Dortmund? Because at this moment in time, they're one of the big hitters sitting in the relegation zone. They're sitting all the way down in 17th. So let's talk about this one. What do you think is going to happen in terms of what we will see on the pitch?
I think Dortmund will be able to pull through and garner all the 3 points. Although they'll be missing one of their key defenders. I think it's Nico Schelterbeck, who got injured when they were playing against Bayern Munich. But they still have enough personnel to fill in that void. As they try and play catch up with the log leaders Bayern Munich. On the other hand, Bayern Munich they're having issues in their dressing rooms. I hear Sadio Mane had a bust up with Leroy Sané. I don't know, maybe it's a fight between the M and the S in their surnames, but I don't know. It could be anything. But I don't see Sadio Mane as a very violent person or somebody who likes to be involved to involve himself in misconduct. So it was a shocker for me. But I'm tipping Dortmund to get all the hollow points, which is 3 points.
All right, so that's what Mr. E has to say about this game, and you're tipping Borussia Dortmund to pick up all 3 points.
3 points.
And we'll have to wait and see what happens with Stuttgart. They're currently jumping up and inside and out of the relegation zone. They're currently sitting 16th at this moment in time, and maybe they'll be able to put it back together. But a very, very historically successful team in German football, they'll definitely need to pull up their socks if they're going to continue playing at this level of their domestic game. But for now, stay tuned. We've still got some more fixtures coming for you, including some local games. Right, welcome back to the Diski Preview Show. We're moving along swiftly to local football to talk about what's happening in the Nedbank Cup. Now, there is 4 games taking place. Bloem Celtic will be facing, in fact, it's not Bloem Celtic anymore, it's Royal AM will be facing Kaizer Chiefs. We have Mamelodi Sundowns are going to be facing...
we call it Stellenbosch now.
Yeah, Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
They'll be facing Stellenbosch, and then Chippa United will be facing Skukune, while Dondol Stars will be facing Orlando Pirates. These are the games to look forward to this week, and obviously we got a couple of fixtures we wanted to look at when it comes to this fixture in particular, and that's the game that's going to kick off at 3 o'clock on the 15th of April 2023, quarterfinal match between Orlando Pirates and Dondol Stars. Now, not much information has been gathered on these teams on the website, but that's why I trust Mr. E, because he's a man who follows the game and he'll be able to give us his thoughts on what will happen in this game. So Mr. E, Orlando Pirates, Soweto Giant, Dondol Stars have to face them. Do you think that we will see a surprise? I mean, they've already been through the likes of SuperSport United and they beat Amazulu. What do you think?
I think Orlando Pirates is coming against a team that is oozing with confidence after claiming the scalp of Amazulu and SuperSport. And guess what? This time around they want to claim the scalp of Amapagania, Ispogo, I don't know if it's going to be possible. Bafuna was straight, So, but Dondol Stars are no pushover. They are on the verge of qualifying for the NFD. Remember, they are in the ABC Municipal League right now. They're on the verge of qualifying for the FNB League. Coming against the Orlando Pirates, that's also been doing very well under Jose Ribeiro. They've haven't lost any game since they last lost to Kaizer Chiefs. I think they lost 1-0 to Kaizer Chiefs.
With an own goal that everyone
with an own goal. They lost by a goal that was scored by Orlando Pirates. But they've had a good run of form, playing scoring about 11 goals in about how many games were that? About 7 or 8 games. And only conceding 2. That means they've done very well in terms of their defense after having conceding that own goal by Kaizer Chiefs. And the nicest thing about them is that they've already won the MTN 8, and they're on the verge of claiming the second spot, as they are tied on 40 points with SuperSport on the PSL League. And now if they're going to win the Nedbank Cup, that's going to be a very successful year for Orlando Pirates. I think they've done very well as compared to the arch rivals Kaizer Chiefs. Meanwhile, Dondol also, I think they can fancy their chances. they can try and beat Orlando Pirates. I think that will give them a big boost as they try to gain promotion on the NFD. And remember, Dondol is from Mamelodi.
Yes.
Team Yase Mamelodi.
Yes.
Yeah, and they are a feeder team to the multi-Diski challenge, to Sundown's multi-Diski challenge team. Yeah, so you don't write them off.
Yeah.
They are very well in going about their business in the field of play.
So basically, for those of you watching at home who don't quite follow South African football, Mamelodi Sundowns a couple of years ago, in fact, maybe a couple of seasons ago, can't really say when, but they started setting up a lot of satellite teams. They have some in Tembisa and Soweto and Mamelodi. Most townships have a 1 or 2 feeder of satellite teams from Mamelodi Sundowns. They don't wear the kit, they don't have the name, but the players most of the time, when they are good enough, they graduate into the Diski Challenge side. Sometimes they graduate into the Mamelodi Sundowns development teams, and they make their name from there. So that is what Mr. E is referring to. So Mr. E, your prediction?
Orlando Pirates will take this one by 1 goal margin.
All right, Mr. E, we'll talk about that later. It is done. It is dusted.
Yeah.
You have gone for Orlando Pirates. We'll have to see Guti, is he right or not. We'll talk about it. If he's wrong, we'll talk about it in the office. I'll tell. That's where last man. That's where Alsati buying a script. That's buying a script. But yep, that's what is going on. Orlando Pirates versus Dondol Stars. Mr. E has gone for Orlando Pirates. Stay tuned as we're about to talk about our last game of the weekend. Welcome back to the Diski Preview Show, and sticking with the big game that's coming up this weekend. In fact, it's the biggest game because both these teams are from the DStv Premiership. As you can see, that Royal AM also need themselves a trophy. On the other side, Kaizer Chiefs definitely need themselves a trophy if they don't want to hear people talk negatively about them, especially those who are famous for doing it. But let's talk about both these sides who are coming into this game in need of silverware, but also not just silverware. They need something to go to take home for the season. We'll say that Kaizer Chiefs can take home third or second or fourth spot, maybe even second, but for Royal AM, this is it.
You see, if they don't manage to get to win the Nedbank Cup, that means it's that will be it for this year. They haven't been playing very well. I mean, they have been blowing hot and cold throughout the whole season. We saw John Madu leaving, and when they saw that the results were not coming their way, they decided to call him back. Oprah John. But Kaizer Chiefs, on the other hand, they will be put under the spotlight because of the red cards and dubious. They say, can I call them dubious penalties they've been given? So it's going to be a very, very classy affair at Chatsworth when Umam Kiza receives Kaizer Chiefs on Sunday.
So Kaizer Chiefs obviously come into this game on 79% form. Their last game was a draw, but they managed to put 5 wins back to back in a row. And speaking of which, that kind of form has put them in a place where they're very confident. Do you think that Royal AM should be worried about Kaizer Chiefs in the mood they're currently playing in? I know a lot of people are talking about the young player by the name of Mdu Shabalala. He's the man. Somebody was saying that Royal AM could win this game. They're like, do you know Mdu? So should we be worried about the likes of Mdu Shabalala?
They should be. If you look at the first team of Royal AM, it's pregnant with a whole lot of experience. I mean, we have the likes of Uchele, Machupu, we have Omatlaba, people who are well seasoned in the game of football, and now they are coming across Omdu Shabalala. I think this is only his third, fourth, or fifth month playing in the PSL. So we're yet to see if experience will come out tops at the end of the day against the ever exciting youngsters of Kaizer Chiefs. And yet again, the tactics of Zwane will be put under scrutiny again when he comes across the well-seasoned John Maduk. I think he's done very well at Celtics, and right now, when it was still called Celtics, and right now he's doing very well for Royal AM, although their position in the league, they could have done better. Let's see how the tactics of the coaches will play out on Sunday.
All right, Mr. E, your prediction before we let you go. It is the last game that we're going to be covering. It is Royal AM versus Kaizer Chiefs. What is your prediction?
Well, you see, the problem with Kaizer Chiefs, the defense line has been leaky and erratic of late. I mean, they've conceded a lot of schoolboy errors, which cost them quite a lot of points. I mean, we can count the number of games whereby they made errors and went on to lose the game. If it's 3 or 4, that's about 4 times 3, 12 points. If they won those games, they would have been somewhere better off in the league. And they're coming across with a very pacey Royal AM with the likes of Omponsana and so on. So I'm yet to see how Gezara is going to line up against Omponsana. But I don't see the defense line of Kaizer Chiefs being able to stop the fiery attackers from the attacking three of Royal AM. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give this one to Royal AM.
All right, Mr. E is giving this one to Royal AM. If you also want to get in there and log in your bets, make sure to visit betfred.co.za. Just stay tuned. I'm going to give you Mr. E's predictions. Quick, fast, and hurry. All right, so let's quickly recap with Mr. E what his predictions for today's episode are. We'll start off in the English Premier League with Manchester City taking on Leicester City. Mr. E, who have you gone with in that game?
I've gone with Manchester City straight win.
With PSG versus Lens, that's taking place in the French Ligue 1. Who have you gone with in that game?
That one's going to be a straight draw 2-2.
All right, and then we go all the way to Germany where Stuttgart are facing Borussia Dortmund. Mr. E, your prediction?
Borussia Dortmund.
And then we take it local with Dondol Stars. We'll be facing Orlando Pirates. Who have you gone with in this one?
Orlando Pirates.
And then last but not least, obviously, Royal AM are taking on Kaizer Chiefs. Mr. E, who do you go with in this one?
Mama Joy and Mam Kaizer will be the happiest of all the guys in the Royal AM camp. So I'm going with Royal AM.
Right, thank you so much for joining us here on the Diski Preview show, and thank you so much for subscribing, hitting the bell notification, and liking our content. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let us know what you have in your bet slip, and maybe you could be helping someone else who's trying to prepare a bet slip for the weekend. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week on the Diski Preview show.
The Betfred promise is value for money, friendly service, and fast payments. When you choose to bet, Betfred.